This is Nonsensible.
You're listening to Nonsensible
with Dave
and Sam.
So the nonsensible has something to do with you guys forgetting how to speak English.
Yeah, it's like everything. It's just an oxymoron. Right. Like this show is an oxymoron. Nothing makes sense.
You try to tell me that the simulation isn't real. Look at you guys' fucking lives. It's insane that you guys like moved here and just live in a whole nother universe. Speaking Korean.
Have you ever? Do you watch Rick and Morty?
A little bit, yeah. I almost bought a Rick and Morty shirt today.
Now that you've mentioned that, it kind of feels like an episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
It's like a parallel universe we shouldn't be in.
Yeah, when I was doing the TV show that I did, and I was like, wow, it's finally happening. I'm rapping in Korean. Like, this is what I've been working to do for the past 6 years. I really felt like the simulation was real. Like, it's really a game.
Well, I guess it is real, but it's like, You say it's something you've been working towards for the last 6 years, but when you go back in time and think as an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, you weren't thinking of rapping in Korean until the show in Korea, were you?
Yeah, but
that's where it becomes unreal.
But I don't think it's me. I think it's whoever's playing my avatar is what I'm saying.
Ah, okay.
All right,
Speaking of
avatar,
Jim Carrey, maybe.
Chill the fuck out.
Jim Carrey, maybe. Okay, that there.
Dave's trying to smash whoever's controlling my avatar.
Oh, no. Dave's just trying to smash keyboards. He's trying to smash.
I'm actually
controllers.
Not that sexual of a man.
What is that? What is that?
Sensual.
Sexual. Yeah, like I'm not.
You don't have a very high libido.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not like. Oh yeah, I gotta get laid. I'm not that kind of dude. Actually. Yeah. I'd rather stay home with my cats.
Is that not like we talked about before? 20s, 30s, 40s. Is that almost not like a generational thing?
I don't know. Maybe when I was younger, I guess I was a little more desperate.
Like if you're meeting people in their 40s and that's the way they live, you kind of start thinking they've really chosen the wrong direction in their life. But like if they're in their 40s, even if they're in their 30s and they've got that like 20s. Early 20s, late teens,
understand.
Guys. I knew guys that were like that, and it's just hormones are through the roof. Boom.
Yeah, of course.
I can't control it. If you're in your 30s and 40s and still have that issue, that's a major issue. Yeah, there's mental problems there.
Yeah, but you got like 10 cats, you know. I mean, that responsibility, do you think it, in a way, like...
I gotta get back home. I'm sorry, Princess Peach.
With respect, you got all the, a man could have, so you're good, man. Just... chill on it.
Is that an age thing though? I mean,
what?
Responsibility?
No, just
libido going down.
Yeah.
Oh, libido going down? Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, maybe not at your age. Your shit should be about peaking right now.
But I mean,
as a male, you should be peaking at about the age of 19 and 20.
I guess with you now, it'd probably be like, for me now, it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
It's not how many, it's like, if I do it, I want to make sure like, it's freaking good, right? And I really enjoy that experience.
You should maybe go and get a hormonal test.
Maybe.
And check your levels of your hormones.
Yeah. Like that was a problem with one of my, I had a relationship and after like 2 months, I just didn't have it in me, man.
That's going to be hard, right?
No pun intended.
But this is also an issue where it could be, it's the initial stage of a relationship. There's a lot of lust involved.
Yeah.
Right. And then when the relationship gets deeper, it kind of develops more into a friendship. And there are definitely kind of peaks and valleys when it comes to that in a relationship. You just need to kind of maybe try waiting a little bit longer and see if you can get past that valley.
Yo, Dave, this is really important because I've had female friends who are off the mentality that men are always on. Like, we're like freaking ready to do it all the time. But you realize that there's a broad spectrum of men out there. And sometimes, some men's like, yo, I'm not even feeling that right now.
Especially people who work as hard as you guys. You're probably tired.
Yeah, I think that's
you work super hard, man. You want to when you're not doing anything, you just want to chill and just relax, That is work, right? You put in work, so.
I was saying that to someone the other day. I'm like, relationships are great, but right now my focus is on, I'd rather be working.
You told me.
Putting time in, like working, like I'm married, so it's kind of a little bit different, but I'm like, even if I wasn't married, my focus would be on work so hard right now. Relationships would just be secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's like that. Dave is just work.
Oh, were you trying to sing?
Maybe I'll, you know,
Work.
Somebody actually should make that. Rip that.
Rihanna,
are you turning me into a meme? God damn it!
But this was like a perfect timing for the meme, right?
Work. Then a cold beer. Then cold beer. Work.
It's work, and then maybe I'll go out for dinner or something. But it's back to work. Like it's for him because he is his own machine. He is his own boss as well.
Yeah,
like he has so much responsibility that he has to maintain that level of work, and he's a workaholic. Look at him. He hasn't been asleep for 24 hours.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Don't you need a balance though?
Yeah.
Like you need to. Like you can't always be like work.
And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, there are times I tell him, you need to get out and socialize. You need to have a social life because sometimes he is just too focused on work.
Right.
But having your priorities on work is not a problem.
It's kind of cute. Like when you come to his house sometimes after he's been like just working for like 4 days, he's so excited to see people.
He's
right?
he's like
it's
a
like
dog.
a little kid.
He's like a dog.
Oh, what do you, I got? Dude, look at this! Look at this new fucking toy I got. Right?
He's like, someone's in the dog. Someone's in the dog.
Oh, it's a person!
Pat me! Oh, tickle me under the chin!
It's really cute. When he got his pull-up part, look at it. You're gonna try to see how many you can do. Look, I can kiss the ceiling when I do pull-ups.
I saw the video.
He really can. It's impressive.
Okay, I'm going to have to briefly just mention it for the listeners and viewers out there. We do have Saul and Sam joining us again on the show. We probably should have introduced you earlier, but
Say hello, guys.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Buongiorno.
What's happening?
Yeah.
perfect. I don't want to get too much into the introductions because Saul's been on the show a couple of times now. Sam was on last week.
Yep.
You mentioned female friends, and it just had me thinking. Opposite sexes.
Can they be friends?
Can they be friends?
Absolutely.
Can they be platonic?
Absolutely. I Arena on my channel, the Japanese girl on my channel.
Yeah, I know Arena.
I couldn't even imagine holding her hand, man, to the point where
okay, I'm saying I do have platonic female friends.
you're giggling like a little
You know what I
kid.
mean?
Like
What I'm saying is that I just thought of like a very funny scene because it's I think it's Chris Rock. He was saying that men have friends and those friends are people like they haven't had sex with yet. Like they'll think about it, like if I got the chance, but the opportunity never presents itself. So it like puts them in the friend zone. Like that's what he said. Like I had a friend for a long time. We were still friends, like really good friend. And I asked her once, I'm like, hey, if you had the chance to date me, would you? She's like, yeah, I've thought about it before. But you know, you kind of like respect the boundaries, right? Because I think, look, if I would take better friendship over like really bad relationships. So I'm with a friend, everything is going great. When you get involved sexually and emotionally, you tend to fight, and it makes everything really complicated.
Yeah.
And let's say if you guys break up, it's like nasty. You lose that friendship forever. Whereas if you put all those desires aside and say, look, you're just cool. I want to just hang out with you. Like you have that chance to be able to maintain that healthy relationship for a long term. So I think it's possible.
And that's been my that's been the experience I've had. I've had females that I was attracted to but didn't want to ruin the relationship.
Right, yeah.
And just kind of kept them at arm's length. I've also had female friends that were married, and I was just like, well, even if there was something, there's not.
Right.
Or there's people that I just wasn't attracted to. But there's definitely a fine line there.
Oh, yeah.
There's for me, like it's something I've always. There's always been this, like it's like you've got the devil and an angel on one shoulder when it comes to having female friends.
Of course, that line before, it's not good.
Really?
Yep.
Somebody that was your friend.
Yeah, because like I didn't really think about it, but our friends are always like, "You guys have been friends for so long. You guys should date."
Yeah, you'd be like the perfect couple.
You guys know each other since you're like in your diapers. Why don't you guys just date? And when you hear that like 6,000 times, you start thinking, it'll be all right if I actually dated. Maybe I should.
Since you're in your diapers.
Was it really that long? Like someone?
Yeah, man,
totally
long time, and when you actually think about dating this person and you start talking along the lines, you realize that you guys want two totally different things in life. Like you actually start to realize that it only worked because you were just friends, right? But once you you want to be together like that, you start looking at things very differently. And when things don't work out, it's worse, man. You really lose that friendship. It sucks, but damn it. Should just be friends, man.
Life moves on.
Yeah,
Life moves on.
life goes.
Saul's very
Yeah, I don't know.
non-committal.
You're thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Girls can't keep their hands off Saul, so he
Oh,
doesn't.
bro.
He doesn't
Keeps
know
them
that
at
feeling.
arm length to grab him right back. Excuse me, I'll take that back.
I was thinking about that though, just because you mentioned that. So, my videos is a girl Arena that I've been making videos with for like 6 years now, and I was thinking maybe even like when I first met her, I guess I thought she was a cute girl, you know, and maybe at the time, or even if I didn't meet her through videos, maybe I would potentially be attracted to her. But once you reach a certain stage of a friendship, you know, I like you said, I've taken people who consider friends and had a romantic relationship with, and it never works out.
Exactly.
It never works out. So it got to a point where when you value somebody's friendship that much, it's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yeah. So that's all I got to say on that subject.
Or maybe
Need a tissue, bro.
but maybe that amount of time that you spend with them was all that was necessary, and we can appreciate those times we have with people.
All right.
I think sometimes there's a tipping point. It could go either way.
True.
But I've had a similar discussion. Like, you know, what in a different world, if we weren't in relationships, where would our relationship have stayed platonic? And it can get weird when conversation like this comes up, because your expectations of reality versus potential desire or whatnot just changes exponentially. And
Do you and your wife talk about? I'm trying to see if it's like just a Korean thing.
Oh, okay.
But my girlfriend and I don't talk about the past like ever, like past relationships.
It's good.
At all.
It's healthy.
We do like we've done it like once or twice, and it's only when we're like on the right amount of
alcohol.
So yeah, the right amount of alcohol, but like not like the exact right
Yeah.
amount, because shit could get like messy.
Right.
I think it's very much a Korean thing in my experience.
To not talk about it.
Yeah, because I've had photos cut up with exes in them before.
With your current wife? With your wife?
she cut like a girl out of a photo, and I talked to Koreans and they're like, "Why did you have that photo?" And I'm like, "It was a good photo." And
yeah,
you know,
that shit would not fly.
but see, for me, it's these are memories of my life. Just because you had a relationship with someone doesn't mean that you have to completely remove them from your life. And I think as we've got older in life, it's something we've become a little bit more open with in our relationship. But, you know, I guess it depends on the person. I wouldn't necessarily ask anyone, irrespective of where they were from the world, when I got into a relationship, so how many boyfriends have you had in the past? Like, that's just something I wouldn't talk
You
about.
don't want to know.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't really care.
Exactly.
But in America, that's like a first date question. Like, how many people have you had sex with?
What?
People talk about that shit.
They do?
Yeah, but
Not
here's the-
everyone.
here's the thing,
but
though.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But that would never happen here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People ask, but the truth is they don't want to know the answer
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
Because even if you say, oh, I was with one person, like one person, that's too much. Is that how you're
Yeah.
brought up? You know, like people think about that. So for me personally, it's not really necessary to talk about that because there's no way you can go back and change anything about that. You know,
I
so
don't know. I guess each to their own. Some people bring it up in conversations, some don't. But for me, and I'm quite open about it, if I've been in a relationship with someone and if it hasn't ended horribly, I don't want to eliminate that memory
Just
from
like
my
cut
life.
them out of my
Yeah,
life
yeah.
because they were more than a friend.
Yeah,
At
but
one
that's the thing
point.
for me. When I get in a relationship, okay, there's sex, there's desire, there's everything else, there's, all the good stuff that comes with it. But once you get past a certain level, there's a friendship that develops.
right, of course.
And if I get into a fight with Dave, like, I don't want to eliminate him from my life
Right.
just because I got into an argument with him, because there's a relationship of friends. And
Right.
just because they're of the opposite sex doesn't mean you go, well, I'm going to rip up all their photos. I'm going to delete their phone number. I'm never going to talk to them again. Because if you see them on the street, there's no reason that you can't just be courteous and say, hi, how's things? You know, what have you been up to?
Yeah, but I guess also when you talk
friends.
about the past in relation to exes or whatnot, are you guys discussing it in a very respectful manner where you're like, oh, okay, or you are bringing that up to like sort of compare? I feel like that's where the problem comes in.
Have you like brought up an ex-girlfriend to your current girlfriend?
You're like,
is it one-upmanship? Is it comparison? Is it like, well, my ex-girlfriend used to do this.
Exactly.
Why don't you do that?
Yeah,
like that shit's not going to fly.
Right, exactly.
I don't care who it is. That shit's not going to fly.
Yeah.
What would the context have been?
If I don't know. I mean, just anything. Like, oh, this so-and-so who I used to date, I just don't do it anymore.
It's not good.
Yeah, I just don't do it anymore. And I guess
good.
one of the main things that's changed in me since like I've hit my 30s is I think I used to just like kind of like fight back my Koreanness. Like there were certain things that I like really liked about American culture, like individuality and shit like that, that I used to be like so sure that America was right about. And nowadays, like anytime that like the Korean way conflicts with my American way, I kind of lean towards like trying to figure out why the Korean way is the way it is, because shit's like right a lot a lot of the time. Exactly. I remember like my boy is like, who's Korean, is really good. Right when this whole Corona thing broke out and the World Health Organization, which I don't know, I think a lot of the like talking heads from it are American, put out the whole thing about how masks were bullshit.
Yep.
He like Harmony like in a elevator was like, well, why are you not wearing a mask? And he's went in Korea and said like, you know, the World Health Organization said that the particles are small enough that it's good. And like 2 weeks later, like he kind of sounded like an idiot about it. You know what I mean? He's my man. I'm not saying he's an idiot, but really like there's just like a lot of shit that Korea does right. And maybe if it's like my Korean girlfriend is like, I don't want to hear about your ex-girlfriends. Maybe there's a reason for it, like that it's going to keep the peace.
There's a reason for everything. Of course. There's a reason for everything. It just depends on the point of view you're bringing with it.
From a utilitarian standpoint, I wonder, like if really the pros of bringing it up like, outweigh the cons. It seems to me like,
but
it's cool to not
if it brings nothing to the relationship,
you don't have to.
Point.
Yeah, there's no point, right? Like you bring it up. Okay, we talked about exes, and what next? You know what I mean? So,
are you thinking about an ex right now? Just scribble that out on that piece of paper.
Never bring.
I never want to see that person again.
Saul was talking about things Koreans do right. Can I talk about things? This is so random. I just thought about it.
Yeah, bring it on, man.
You know what annoys me about Korea? Something that annoys me about Korea. All right, so overseas, this has nothing to do with relationships. Is that all right?
Yeah,
of course.
All right, so
good transition.
You can do whatever you want.
So, something that's always bothered me about Korean is like websites and signing up for shit overseas.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on trying to buy things on a Korean website.
So even like signing up for something in America, all you need to do is type in your email and the password, and that's it, In Korea, you have to like give your social security, get a phone
even for
pin,
freaking YouTube, right?
For YouTube, a pin confirmation. You can't do it on Chrome. You have to open it on fucking Internet Explorer.
Yep.
It's not 1997 anymore. Why are we still using Internet Explorer?
Yeah.
And just to sign up for a game, you have to go through 10 different confirmation processes.
But the worst one is when they ask you to confirm with your phone.
Yep.
So they're like, which service provider are you on? What's your telephone number? Then what's your name?
Date of birth.
And it has to be the name on your social ID card.
Yeah.
I can never get them to match. So I can never sign up using my
Look
phone.
at Diana. She's just
my shit too is I would feel like maybe I was just stupid because of that. But Korean people can't do that shit either. None of them. Every time I call, like, what is it? Yo, I showed my tax form to a Korean person the other day and was like, do I owe money or am I getting money? And they were like, I don't know. What the fuck? Well, how do you not know this is your language, right? But like, no one knows. Then you got to call a phone number. That number doesn't work. Then you go online and it's just like, you can screenshot it. And they know all the words, but they don't know if it means that you're getting money back or
it's crazy.
Why does it have to be so difficult to purchase something online?
I
want to spend money.
Take my money.
Yeah, please take my money. Don't make it difficult.
And
Why do I have to jump through so many hoops?
Oh my
gosh.
But
At
then
least
you have to
that's
like
safe.
search something on your
Yeah,
computer,
on your
right?
computer to
Yeah.
look at
Download-
your phone
download-
and get the
So
number.
you're
my
downloading
God.
something to buy something, and it feels like you're downloading a virus more often
Yeah.
than not.
Right.
Now, here's the thing that really blows my mind. Korea is probably one of the most connected countries in the world.
Right.
Now, this is the crazy part. It has one of the worst internet securities in the world as well.
I didn't know that.
Internet security here is horrible.
Maybe that's why you have
I
to do
thought
this
that-
shit with
yeah,
your
but
phone.
But
It
that's,
doesn't help. It just
it doesn't. That doesn't make it any better.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. If you've got all those hoops in place, shouldn't that make security stronger?
I think they don't take email as seriously as we do in the States. That's
be.
all.
Could be.
You don't take email as seriously.
Yeah, because they want your 외국인 등록. They want your
They-
oh my god, man.
In the States, all you need is an email
Email
to
and
confirm
password,
shit. And I think it's because overseas or in the West, email is considered a pretty official
Yeah, like
part
what's
of
your email,
you,
right? Yeah.
you know? But not here. Email is not taken as seriously here.
Why do I just don't know why I need to keep downloading programs just to
Yeah.
purchase
It's
just to
funny-
purchase some lettuce.
Oh,
I
you gave me a
just
break.
want a head of lettuce. Why do I need to download a
I
program?
actually thought it was like for security purposes. I'm
And
like, oh,
why-
maybe they're trying to make it a little more secure. But man, 2, 3, you know?
And why are people okay with getting the second you restart your computer, getting hit with commercials from apps?
Pop-ups.
Yeah,
Yeah, pop-ups,
a
yeah.
pop-up on your desktop
Yeah.
is crazy, right?
What are you talking about?
Dave
Like
has
Rick's-
a $7,000 computer.
But
It
I'm
I'm
deletes
using
them
one
all
of his
for him.
computers though, like Rick's or whatever. I don't know what Rick's is.
It's a font program.
Okay, so Rick's is a font program. That shit puts a fucking commercial on the corner of the
Have you
screen.
visited
right
a
when you
site?
That's
start it.
because
Yeah.
he didn't pay for it.
I did pay for it.
Really?
Yeah.
You did pay for it?
And you still get a
It's not a
ad.
free program in their advertising.
But Kakao Talk puts ads on your desktop too sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
little pop-up
That's
here and there.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
Well, I think that should be like
All right.
unacceptable, don't you? No?
Kakao
Too
has
far?
to. I mean, these are companies that pay for that.
But they
right
can
there.
hide the ads, not just like make your. Because I feel like it's
Next,
invasive.
next you'll be saying YouTube,
But here's the thing,
YouTube
though.
shouldn't have
They,
ads on
they
it.
do give you an option. Do you want to see this once and
Yeah,
never see it
yeah.
again? If
No,
you say
dude,
yes, you never
that's
see it
too far.
again.
No, you
That's
just
too far?
no. It's not that. It's not. It's too far. It's just it works everywhere. That's how it is, even in the West.
But I'm
Okay,
saying
so
not
like-
at startup of the computer. That's what I feel like is invasive.
never really
Because it can
experienced
make
that.
your computer go
Dude,
slow.
you know what? You know, my computer when it broke. You know, he was like, "Did you try Norton antivirus?"
No, I said malware bites first.
No, he
you-
doesn't.
And then Norton
Did you buy a
antivirus was
computer
the
from
result.
Yongsan?
Are you
What?
still on
No.
AOL?
He probably still uses AOL.
Malware
What's your
anti-
aim?
Bro, malware anti-bites or whatever. So malware bites.
Still updating his
People
fucking
still-
MySpace.
People still use that for Apple. If you get a
He knows
virus,
no- you know how he types?
Hey,
Oh, you gotta
hey.
be kidding
I
me.
no, I
Two
use all
fingers
my
and he
fingers, but
stares-
I look at the
No,
keyboard.
you don't.
No,
he
he put-
uses one finger and looks at the keys. You don't know anything
That's
about
because I
them.
have a dead finger. Look, check this out. This finger doesn't bend. That's why I have
My
a hard
fingers
time with this
do
one.
that too.
Well,
No,
you're
no,
supposed to
I
use
like tore a
multiple
ligament
fingers.
Oh, really?
A tendon or a
okay.
ligament in this one. It's like,
So do you type with your middle fingers?
yeah, it's like hard to use this one because it like just stays.
It's a
Flat.
nightmare to
Oh,
watch.
man, I want to see that.
It's a nightmare to watch.
Guess when the apps are free, like Kakao Talk is a free app that we
Yeah.
use, and what's essentially has
Kakao,
eliminated
right.
text messages in
Yeah.
this country. Nobody uses it.
I
So-
love Kakao Talk.
So for me, like if you're gonna throw up an ad, I'm like, okay,
I don't
'cause
mind, yeah.
It
Yeah, I
means
don't
I'm
mind.
not paying for text messages.
I understand that there should
It's
be ads.
unacceptable.
I just don't think that there should be ads at the startup of your
Dude,
computer.
it's okay, man.
I don't really get
I just
that,
press
though.
the X.
You don't get
man.
Yeah.
I don't get ads.
No,
What do you, I don't
you
even
know
what
what
is that?
really frustrates me though when they get those pop-up ads and they hide the X.
Oh,
Why
yeah,
do
I
they do
hate
it so
that.
the
yeah,
X is
yeah,
impossible
yeah,
to find?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
like
hate
gotta
right in
watch
the
the-
corner, and it's like they've kind of brought the transparency
Yeah,
down on it, so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
barely find it.
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. That's
Yeah,
annoying.
That annoys the shit
That's
out
annoying.
of me.
What about there's like a grid with a bunch of pictures and it's like click the crosswalk and you're just like
Yeah, yeah. I
and then
know,
you
right?
like miss one and
They're-
you're like
They're testing if you're human or not.
yeah,
right?
they're testing if you're human or not.
That shit's
Are
hard
you
sometimes.
human or
I
a
like that.
robot?
I like the new ones that ask you, "Are you a
A
robot?"
robot. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a robot.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I go,
2 fingers, 26 keys.
no.
I gotta pee.
Yo, go pee, man.
Keep talking.
Do
Yeah.
your thing, bro.
I was gonna ask that last time. Like, do we can just go pee if we have to pee? Right?
Well, the beauty of something like this is that we can just edit this out,
Yeah,
or
pretend like it never happened.
I'm pretty sure Diane has the ability to just get a still of Dave and just put it there so we can pretend that
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
sitting
Do
there.
that now.
Yeah. Dave has not left.
Got a little hologram, right?
He's just sleeping with his eyes open right now.
That's a picture of me wearing a wig.
Alex Jones went to go pee on the Joe Rogan podcast. Right? Because it was 4 hours.
But I think, like, even when I do television, there's occasions where I'll just be like, yeah, I need to go and pee, and you just make sure you turn your microphone off, because there was one situation where we did it and someone left their microphone on, and
I did that. On
the
TV
microphone came through the studio and you could hear them like peeing and you could hear them flushing the toilet.
Oh, hell no.
Whoa.
And that was kind of embarrassing, because then when they walked back and they're like, oh, so that was number one, not number two, right? And it was kind of like, oh
my God.
shit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
So
wild.
I don't know. It's when you're sitting in a situation like this, and you know, the coffee, water, you know, there's only so much you can do, and then Dave was just being a real prick, and so then I just, oh shit.
I
He's
was
back in the room.
I was doing like an alcohol related punk song kind of thing, and was pretty saucy, and ended up like with my homie who I was filming it with, crossing swords, and we both had the mics on, and I was just like so loose off of like Korean craft beer that I forgot that I had the mic on, and I said some really bad stuff.
Oh, no.
And like my friend's manager like had to like beg them to
Bad
erase
stuff
it.
about other
Yeah.
people? Or?
no, it's about myself, like incriminating myself from something a long time ago in my past.
Okay.
And I ended up like
Was
the
it-
guy had to like beg
Was it like
to
getting
them to
stabbed?
get it off. No.
Oh, you've got worse stories.
Yeah, I got some stories.
Oh, snap. Man, I want to hear them, man.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to put my fat fist in the jar and see what comes out.
Put that fast.
it's not that fat
fist
anymore.
somewhere
this
else.
jar has been sanitized.
Oh,
Your fingers
Please.
lost weight, you know.
Stab his
my
fist in the
fat
jar.
It
fingers.
lost weight.
Fist in the jar.
Fist
my
in the
God.
jar.
Tell us about your sensitivities, insecurities, Dave.
Okay, that's good.
All right,
we all have them. You want to start with me?
Oh,
Yeah.
please do.
Floor is yours.
If you just written a list, there's a lot of writing on that paper that looks like he's about to read off. Like
He's
been
doing the
preparing.
Steve Colbert, like or Conan O'Brien. They're
First
just
of all,
always writing.
first off,
I need a second, but
I've been sucking in my stomach for 30 years. My boy said that one time. I mean, it's true. It touched me. Yeah, I mean, I suck in my belly.
I
a lot.
used to be insecure about that, but I don't have it anymore.
You got a six-pack. He's posting bathroom selfies
I
these
saw
days.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, he's got a fucking,
Wearing
he's got the lines.
ripped,
He's
eh?
got the D'Angelo and shit.
oh, okay,
He's
snap.
got the how does it feel? How does it feel?
I had another name for those the other day.
What?
All naked, right? Butt naked.
Cum gutters.
What?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The what?
D'Angelo.
Cum gutters.
What's
Gutters.
What's
fuck?
that?
What the
You know what
fuck?
a gutter is on the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know what cum is?
Yeah.
I know what both
It
of
was
those-
in Rick and Morty. I had to
Oh,
look it up. It's
God.
like some gay
Right.
porn term.
Oh, it's a gay porn.
Okay.
Jesus.
I knew what both of those words meant individually. I just didn't know.
I had to
So
look
what does it mean?
Is that an insecurity?
I don't have them. I'm insecure.
I don't. I'm fresh out of cum gutters upside.
When God gave birth, well, no, when my mother gave birth to me, she removed the cum gutters. Dear me. God damn it, Mum, what were you doing? Get your shit together.
She didn't know that you were going to be doing a podcast in 2050 where you're going to need the cum gutters.
I know, right?
They were a thing when I was 40, Mum. They were a thing.
She could have looked into the future.
She didn't know that society was going to be totally cool with cum gutters by 2050.
Oh, hang on. Dave's getting very heavy over here.
No, I'm not actually.
He's getting-
I'm trying to think of an insecurity I have.
Really?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of previous insecurities, they were, I guess, more superficial, but a lot of them, I did my best to work on them. You know, I used to have like this, what's it called? A lot of like neck fat and stuff, but
Double chin.
yeah, double chin,
Double
but
chin?
I kind of worked on it, worked out. And so, I guess one of my insecurities is, this is also kind of superficial, but I think I don't look good on camera. I'm not the best. Like, I think I look better in real life than I do on camera, and it annoys me sometimes, like really bad.
Is it something that you've noticed yourself, or something
I've noticed
you've been
myself.
told? Okay.
I've noticed myself, and I've been told this. Like, and people see me in real life, and they'll be like, "You look a little, I guess, more like a manly, more like a guy,
Is that why you get so shitty when people write things about, geez, you look old? And
What do you mean I get shitty?
like you get, like I notice on your Instagram, like sometimes when people write things about your appearance,
Yeah, it
Shitty
bothers
like
me.
it
mad.
bothers you, yeah.
Oh
Like, you
yeah, it
get
bothers me. I
mad.
thought you meant I'm being shitty like a shitty
no,
person. I'm like, dude,
no,
I'm
no.
being
Shitty like
attacked.
pissed.
No,
Jesus.
like shitty, like pissed,
yeah,
angry.
it bothers me because I mean, I personally don't like insulting people for their looks. I've never enjoyed it
Right.
because it's not like a video game where we get to pick our appearance when we're at birth.
Mhm.
Right.
Like I think that's the most. Everyone does it, but it's such a wrong thing to do to give somebody shit for the way they look.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
in whether it be in terms of like weight or like wrinkles or the
Right.
color of your skin. Like
Mhm.
it's not like we got to choose the way we look.
Right,
So I don't
exactly.
understand why people do that, and it'll never go away. It'll never go
We're
away.
humans. We enjoy that.
I know, but it's just such a shitty thing.
It
to-
does suck, though.
I just never got it. I've never insulted somebody for their looks.
But it's, I think
Never done
Yeah,
it.
As
that's
a
true. Out
soc-
of all the times you've insulted me, that's never
I've
been about my
never
looks.
insult people. I never. I always insult
been
people's
about his
shitty
height. It's
personalities.
never been about his looks.
Seriously,
a difference.
I don't do it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just bothers me.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
here's
you
the thing:
really don't.
you live in a society that when people greet you, the first thing they talk about is your appearance.
Yeah.
Like
But that's bullshit. I don't understand why you see someone and you're like, hey, you've put on weight.
Yeah,
hey,
he's the first,
you're
like-
looking a little bit old
Thank
these
you.
days. It's like, that's not...
hey, you look better in person than on TV.
Yeah, why can't you...
That's
when
I
you
kind of
meet
like that.
someone,
Yeah,
why can't you compliment someone? Like,
Yeah.
say, oh, you look better in person on TV.
That's
So
a
what?
very
I look
Korean.
like shit on
That's
TV.
a very
yeah.
Korean thing, though. 왜 이렇게
Yeah.
늙었냐? Well,
But
we
not-
get 피곤해. Well, like,
Not
dude,
just Korean, though. Like, even in the West, people are like, oh, you've put on a bit of weight. And I'm like, that's not...
You get banned from Twitter doing that shit now.
That's not something. That's not a compliment.
Yeah, like if
you know.
you're
America's
fat shaming somebody,
sensitive
so
about
yeah,
shit
yeah,
like that
man,
now,
sensitive, right. Yeah, but you know what's it's crazy? I've thought about your point as well because like nobody asked to be born like this.
exactly.
Like you can't pick and choose like, well, I'm gonna get this body and I'm gonna get this skin color and I'm gonna get this height. Like you cannot do
You
that.
can't do it.
You
Yeah,
cannot,
it's
you
not.
know, it's
It's
like
not a freaking
default, did it?
choice.
Yeah, you
well,
know.
Like,
Michael
what?
Jackson tried.
Did it work
Yikes.
though?
No.
Oh god, that was like a dark fact. Jeez.
I grew up as a Michael Jackson fan.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, but that's what society's become. We have what are considered, what people consider norms or there are expectations, which I think are bullshit. And people are trying to attain these unrealistic expectations of how they should look and how people expect them to look. You look at plastic surgery and look at what people are doing on television, on magazine covers and music videos. Why have we set people up for failure?
What percentage of the people that you work with do you think have plastic surgery here in Korea?
I'd say it'd be 90%
Yeah,
at least.
Yeah.
90?
But I'm talking about it could just be like eyelid surgery. It could just
Yeah,
be
a lot of people do that.
It's
Yeah.
90 though.
even
Wow.
even
Pretty high,
even like getting laminated teeth, like getting what do you call it? Caps on your teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, it's considered quite normal here to
Yeah, of
have
course,
even just small plastic surgery.
I mean, I get shit on my face all the time. I got shear lifting, like the
Yeah.
seal. Like
Like
I
Botox?
I get Botox. I get the filler. I get
I've
that.
had Botox
I get
before.
what's it called. I get
Yeah, so it's like a
facelift?
face. It's like a small facelift
Yeah.
procedure.
You did that too?
I've had Botox.
What happens? They pull your skin.
no. They just
They tie off.
they tie
down
off.
here,
It's just
and they
it's
just
yanked.
pull it up with like
Oh,
a.
wow.
It's like a display. It's
It fizzes away after a while.
Yeah, they're like what do you call them?
Dissolvable
When you
thread.
get stitches done, but they're dissolvable stitches inside, so it just kind of pulls
Oh
up the
wow,
tension.
that's crazy. There's like a whole new concept.
Would you have done that before
I mean,
coming to Korea? Or do you think that Korea had an influence on your decision, on the way
I wouldn't
you
say
think
I
about
wouldn't
that?
say it's Korea so much. I'd say more in terms of maybe the industry I'm in.
I think
job?
yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I do videos,
And
so
I
I,
think-
can't
I
stand those
think-
comments.
Even in Australia or in the States, being in that kind of industry, I think there's so many expectations when it comes to someone's looks, especially in this industry, more so than other industries. And I think based on that, you kind of, I've had braces I've had like stuff cut out of my face, like moles cut out of my face. I've had all of that stuff done. And even that you could consider plastic surgery because it's just appearance.
True.
There's no need to get it done. It's just purely for appearance.
Yeah, you know, and I'm glad you brought that point because like I used to have a gap in my teeth. And culturally in Ghana.
When?
Yeah, like a couple of years back.
Yeah. When I first met
I
you.
remember.
Yeah.
I thought that shit looked cool.
Yeah, you know, and
I
here's
didn't
the
even
thing.
notice that it was going.
Yeah, it's closed, right? Can't see it. In Ghana, if you have a gap tooth, it's a symbol of beauty. And we look at it as, you know, a lot of blessings come through. But in Korea, they think the other way.
Wow.
Blessings go out.
So did you have like a personal dilemma when you were designing?
I did not actually. I only considered it when I met my dentist and she showed me how that changes the jawline and everything scientifically or biologically. I was like, oh, I did not know that because I'd never thought of it in that regard, right? I only thought of it as, okay, I was born like this.
It should technically bring them all in, so it should make your face smaller.
Right. I've never thought about that. I thought, you know, if you're born with a gap tooth, that's what it's supposed to be. You know, I didn't really think anything of that. And then she's like, they do a scan, right? They do an x-ray and they show you, well, this changes the position of the other teeth and how your jawline looks on TV. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know it was like this technical.
Did it change at all?
It did. Yeah. You can't see it, right? You can't really see it with your naked eye. And here's the thing. Since I've closed, the people who knew how to gap tooth, they can't tell anymore.
That's why a lot of people here also, instead of getting jaw surgery, they'll remove 2 teeth, one on either side, and then get braces put in. Because if you've got kind of a broader jaw, it should bring your jawline in.
All right. Well, I have 2 missing teeth that I pulled out when I was drunk one night.
Eh? Hang on. There's a story here we have to hear. I'm sorry.
Jeez, how did that happen?
What is it, like a bat or something? Or?
I had like a cavity or something.
What did you pull them out with?
My hands in front of my friends. They freaked. One of my friends went to the bathroom and threw up. Yeah.
How
You just
old
out
were you?
Yankovic
Just like a year ago.
A year ago.
Maybe less than a year ago, in 2019.
Jeez, with your hands?
Dude, I'm pretty good with pain. Yeah, I'm pretty good with pain.
You
but
need to get.
He's strong as hell, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was kind of shaky. And it was really. I guess they were rotting a little bit. I had a cavity. And it was really annoying me. So I was just like,
The root was a little loose, right?
Yeah. So I was like, fuck it. And I just yanked it out. My friends were like, no. Like one of my friends was like, no. One friend got up. He just went to the bathroom.
That's incredibly normal. I think most people would have done that.
I would have done it. I'm like, golly.
Yeah, and but then I just ignored it because you can't really see it unless I like.
But you should you can't ignore that because what should happen, and this is what dentists have told me, if you've got a tooth missing down here, your tooth up here will try and compensate for that and should start coming down. That's why you need to get implants in there.
Yeah, I'll get that done. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
You keep forgetting.
I'm used to. I'm used to having
no
teeth there. You know.
Do you want me to take your front teeth out?
I mean, I can do it myself.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually good. Yeah.
Yo, I like this guy.
That was something I was super insecure about when I was younger. My teeth, like they're better now, but they were fucked when I was younger. I did have braces. For
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but every picture of me was like every picture of me is like an 8-year-old. I like look back at them now and I like want to cry. Like I'm smiling with my mouth like completely closed, like so afraid of my teeth showing.
Like when I was growing up, going to the dentist was a luxury.
Yeah.
My friends who had money, they went to like regular, visits and regular checkups at the dentist. I'm like, that is like a 5. Like I never thought, it's like it's not something you get up and be like, oh mom, my teeth are really bad. She's like, oh yeah, let's go to the dentist. Nah. She's like, oh my gosh, your teeth are so beautiful.
You just have to deal with it.
Yeah, you just got to deal with it, right?
Were you financially limited when you were young?
No, not that, but it was not a concept that everybody was like really open and used to, And besides, your parents are not thinking, I have to spend so much money to put braces in his mouth. Mm-hmm. I could pay your school fees with that, I could buy more groceries with that. That was not a necessity, 1, and it was not a priority, 2.
Not a necessary priority.
Exactly. If you had money on the side, you're like, well, I could, put some money down to get my children braces. But
Their
Like
education,
yeah, exactly.
food.
Normal households, that's like the least of your parents' problems. It's your teeth, not theirs. They don't really care, you know. They're like, shoot.
Hey,
Like,
if you don't have teeth, I'll just put
Yeah.
your food in a blender and you can drink it through a
yeah,
straw.
you know? They're like, you have to be lucky and appreciative that at least you got teeth. You know?
You were born with teeth.
That's
What are
right.
you worried about?
You have to be grateful that you had teeth. People don't have teeth in their mouths. You know, so
Yeah.
when you hear stuff like that, you're like, I guess I need to be grateful, man. You know, it's okay. But when you come to Korea, it's like a whole different thing. And I was like, yo, if I'm getting it for free, why not?
Yeah. Shout out to my sister. She's dating a dentist. my boy Nader. Really. He came to visit.
Is he your go-to dentist guy?
He's gonna be. I mean, I hopefully he will be if I ever move back to America one day.
You got no problem with teeth
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
But my sister's teeth are looking fire now. Nader. He's cool. He's got I wish I could shout out the name of his place in LA, but yeah, he's got his own dentist practice. And I don't know I forgot the name of it. I'll look at
I
it
thought you were
later.
worried. I thought you're like
Asking if I could.
Yeah.
No.
What's your insecurity?
I said I suck in my gut. Like I would like to get
His
rid of my
belly.
belly, but like my favorite thing in the world to do is like eat and drink and talk.
Yep.
And I just I kind of feel like I'd rather have that in my life than a six pack.
What about you, Sam?
Insecurities?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is an insecurity per se. I have the biggest problem with getting up on stage. I have stage fright and
You
speaking in
do?
public. Yeah.
I have public speaking anxiety.
I have
too.
public, getting in front of a crowd and performing or speaking for me is like one of the scariest
But
things
you've
in the
done
world.
it plenty.
I've done it plenty of times and it doesn't tend to get any easier.
That shit is genetic, man.
It just after doing it for so long, it just means that you adapt a lot quicker. Like it used to be, I'd get off stage and I'd still be like, oh my God, I'm shitless.
Your legs would be shaking
Now-
and stuff?
Yeah. It was like, I don't know if it's the adrenaline. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but now it's just like, before I get up on stage, I'm scared shitless. And I'm like, what are these people going to think of me? What if they laugh at me and I'm not trying to be funny? Or what if I'm trying to be funny and they don't laugh? It's like everything is just second guessing.
Have you ever heard of beta blockers? My little brother is like a
Oh.
professional drummer,
Is that not
and
what?
he had the same shit. He started taking these pills.
Is that what the Olympians are not allowed to use? Beta blockers?
I don't know. Maybe
Like
I don't know.
It's like a steroid or something.
No, I think it just cuts off whatever it is that gives you. It's like an anti-anxiety thing.
Oh, really?
But I think it's way healthier and not habit forming the way that
Xanax.
Klonopin or something
Yeah.
might be. Xanax would be. But yeah, my brother's and there's not many side effects to it. But yeah, he said it changed everything because he was going on tour with really big bands and getting crazy panic attacks and stuff
Don't
like
promote
that.
drugs
But
on
then
our
I think the
podcast.
other thing.
Beta blockers is it's supposed. I think it's a more natural thing.
But
That's
then
why
I think
felt comfortable.
but the other thing is sometimes I kind of think to myself, if I don't get nervous, if I don't get this anxiety, if I get too comfortable,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work
Yeah.
either.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I remember someone said, it's normal to get nervous before you go on stage.
I think it might be
And-
Will Smith.
Yeah, he
I-
said you should quit if you're not nervous
But
anymore. or
It
something
was
like-
someone, for some reason,
Yeah.
I think it was one of the Jonas Brothers or Ed Sheeran. Someone I don't follow. It was one of those John Mayer or someone like
Yeah.
that I'm not really into, but they said this and I'm like, oh
Some
my
douchebag.
snap.
Yeah,
That was such a cool thing.
use the anxiety.
They said, if you don't get nervous and don't get anxious, it's almost a sign that you don't care anymore. You're so comfortable. That's just you saying that you care for what you're doing
You're true.
because you don't want to fuck up.
That's
you don't
right.
want to make a mistake.
That's right on the money though, because last year, Coachella, right? Will was performing with Jaden, and they have the whole camera crew, and he's nervous as hell, right?
Who, Will Smith?
Yeah. And people are like, dude, you're freaking Will Smith, man. You've been doing this forever. And he's like, yeah, I still get those butterflies. I still feel freaking nervous. And he said the same thing too.
That's cool.
It shows him that he still has passion for what he does.
Yeah.
So when you go out there, you want to take that energy and just give everything that you got.
Yeah.
Just give it all.
And his son is fire now too.
I know, yeah. Man.
That'd be kind of crazy to go on
Yeah.
stage with your son and he
That'd be crazy.
can maybe out rap you. Now.
I ain't gonna lie. The funny thing is that when I heard Jaden, at first I was like, I don't know. And then
He's
little,
dope,
and
man.
little, I was like, huh.
He's dope.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get some more songs from him. You know, and I got like a whole bunch of songs, blasted it out,
And
man.
you
Being
would
being a father though, that's like the coolest thing ever. Like
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to go on stage with my kids at at the KBS awards at the end of the year and accept awards with them. And even that's cool. But to be able to do something like perform with them on stage
that'll be lovely, man.
would be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And that's another one of, I guess, for me, it's another insecurity is success. I have this, now that I'm a father, it's like I have 20 years that I have to raise my children, and I work in an industry that is so volatile.
Oh, yeah.
Like things change overnight, and you're in a job one day, you're out of a job the next day, and it's like I have to keep my head in the game and make sure that I'm setting it up so that my children are secure until they become adults. If I can't do that as a father, I'm just like, and that's the thing that stresses me the most. Like I lose sleep over that shit.
Wow.
That's Sam. No, dude.
It's a bit of both.
With Sam. Okay, I've seen a lot of people go into the industry and come out of the industry. They're hot one day, then they're not as talked about the next day. That's the thing about Sam Hammington, man. He's been reinventing himself for freaking years now,
Yeah.
man. This guy, you're insane. That's all I'm gonna say.
In the membrane.
That's why I say sometimes people ask me, "Who's my role model?" I wouldn't say Sam is a role model in terms of what he does because we're in a complete
genres.
different
Yeah.
genres. But as work ethic, dude, man, you've been relevant for over 10 years now. And not a lot of people have the liberty to say they've done that.
That's
As he takes his like detox diet. shit.
yeah.
No, it's just water.
It's insane, man.
But that's the thing. Like that's for me, it's like.
It's because you're obsessive over it, man.
But that's
good.
Yeah.
because I'm insecure about it as well. It's like
Because you feel like you could lose it
Yeah,
at any
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
But
Fear of the
it's-
unknown, right?
it's the same in business. If I do something and I'm successful with it, someone sees that and they're like, okay, I can do a similar thing.
Right.
I need to be 2 steps ahead and think, okay, if someone's going to come and try and do a similar thing and
right.
take that job, what's the next step?
Right.
What's the next direction I go in? I need to be 2 steps ahead of everyone else all the time to be able to maintain it. Otherwise, if I just I'm comfortable, I'm just going to keep doing this, someone else is going to come and take that job.
Is that part of the reason why you wanted to do an English podcast?
I guess for me, like expansion, getting my name, I want to set myself up to be bigger than what I've been now.
Yeah.
And doing it in English broadens the audience.
Yeah, you know, for me, I look at it as, look, there are a lot of people, like 1,001 people trying to come for a spot, right? And eventually someone will come for a spot. But here's the thing, when they do you want to be the person whose spot got took, or you want to be the person who's given the spot to somebody? Now, those are 2 different things. Now, the latter just means that, for example, you have just graduated from being just somebody on TV to like now owning like platforms where you can actually give spots to people. You can give people opportunities. Now, that's like a whole different ball game. So you want people to respect your relevance, but also say, well, this dude started as this, now he's like here. You
That's a perfect example sitting there right there.
know? Yeah. Mr. Dave.
Dave has set himself up
Right.
in a position. And Saul, you're an example of what Sam's talking about as well. He's now in a position where he can give people like you an opportunity
Right, exactly.
to diversify and do different things as well.
Thanks, guys.
But
You're welcome, bro.
He's kind of like the epitome of people here in Korea doing it for the expat community.
I've made a lot of people famous. I know it's such a shitty thing to say.
It is
yo.
pretty. That's a pretty cocky thing to say.
But I have
it's
made a
true.
lot of
It is
people
true.
famous.
It is true.
Like a good 7 people.
It is true.
Like
That's
really,
pretty crazy. That's
Yeah.
cool.
7. That's a pretty exact number.
good 7 people.
Lucky 7, right? Hey.
Yeah, I know. God, that sounds so shitty to say, but it's true.
Well, the truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Raw.
I won't mention names, but I saw someone on TV recently that I think you had quite a
Changmin.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Changmin is a
He
prime
was-
example.
He was
of,
on a talk show the other day with his fiance,
Yeah,
and
I was the
remember
first
him.
person to
Yeah,
put him out there.
Dave
Actually,
was putting him in videos
you know
back
what's
in the
funny
day.
about Changmin? First of all, he still thanks me to this day. He's like, "Thank you. If I never met you, I wouldn't have been where I am right now."
Right.
But another thing about him too is, you know what's something cute? The first time he ever got contacted for a TV show, he didn't know what to do. He got an email. I translated the email for him, and I took him to his first TV meeting as his quote unquote manager.
Really?
But then I went there. They're like, "What the?"
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? And I'm like, temporary management. Just
See, Dave, you see,
I'm like,
missed opportunity here.
Right.
These 7 people that you've made famous, you could have set up your own company.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
yeah.
Right along.
Sam's insecurity.
2 things. In 2 phases of my life. When I was young, I actually used to really shake in front of people. Like if I had to do something,
Like
for
booty shake or?
No, like my hands, like my whole
like,
body.
like shake.
Yeah, I like to
Nervousness.
watch that. But
Jesus Christ.
I like to watch
I
that.
like to
Wait,
watch that.
We got a couple of Sams over here.
Hey, feels like Bruno's back in the studio.
Yeah. But
Bruno.
yeah, you know, like for example, when I was in school, right, we had this thing where it's like a huge register and everybody had to like come sign right next to their names. And just waiting for that, I was like, I was super anxious. And once my name is called, I'm going to sign. Like, I'm just like shaking in front of everybody. My teacher's like, do you drink? Like, did you drink the night before?
Yeah, that's
Did
like
you shake
withdrawals.
like a lot?
yeah, it's like,
Noticeably?
yeah, it was
Like this?
crazy. Like, my hands would like go like crazy,
Oh.
you know? And
That just happens to me normally. Like I get the shakes
yeah, here's
for
the
no
thing.
reason.
I thought I was the only person that had that till I met friends like, I shake all the time. Like when I hold say an object for like,
So
let's
it
say-
wasn't nerves.
It wasn't nerves. So like even till now when I do this, like my hands will shake a little
Yeah,
bit.
I get that.
Yeah, like I have that. And that used to like really bother me, dude.
I don't want to look.
Yeah, like
My shit's shaking. It's my shit's
As he
shaking.
sticks
It's
his
alcohol
hand in his
related.
armpit.
yeah.
If it's gonna shake down here, baby.
Yeah. Shake, senora. Yeah, like this is a shake. And also, like a lot of female friends that I had, they used to laugh at me that I had huge hands. Like, oh my gosh, like you're only 12 and your hands like this huge. They used to laugh at me. And I was like very veiny. Like I was
Yeah,
really
those are
vain.
things that are cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I only realized they were cool when I got to Korea.
I wish I was veiny. Whenever I need to get an injection at the doctor and take
Yeah.
blood, they're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, didn't work. Didn't work again.
Yeah.
Like a pin cushion. They inject me like 5 or 6 times to get some blood.
But that is the crazy thing. Like these are things that I really hated about myself growing up. Like I would literally try and keep my arm in a position where you couldn't see my veins.
Oh, veins are sexy.
That's
though.
crazy.
Because like I
Yeah,
hated
veins are
them.
cool.
And then I come to Korea and like, oh my gosh, you have some nice big sexy hands. I'm like, say what? Nah. You know?
Well, Kawhi Leonard has made big hands.
You know,
very
the claw,
fashionable.
right?
Yeah.
And like you have, your veins are popping. Like, oh my gosh, that's sexy. And to my head, I was like, what the hell? These are things that I grew up being like super, super insecure about. And I'm here and people are looking at me like, oh, that is cool. So that was like really crazy for me.
Yeah.
The fact that people look at things really differently.
Wow.
Now you go to the hospital, they want to draw blood. You're like, don't worry about it. You know, just put in the needle and you're good, right? So
Pick a vein.
Because everyone has to have an insecurity. When you're as handsome as Sam, they're
come on.
having big hands and muscly muscle veins. But everyone's got
Big hands and muscle veins. They go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but yo, that used to really bother me as a child, man.
That's
Like,
crazy.
when I met my female friends, I put my hands in my pocket. Or like not try to shake them.
Wow.
Really?
Like, yep, bro. It was
Wow.
like really bad for me. But like I was good at hiding it. But every time I was at home, I look at my hands, I'm like, damn, man.
It's kind of like being pale. People used to give me shit in the States for, they're like, you need a tan.
oh,
You need a
word?
tan. But in Korea, people are like, they like the pale skin.
I always thought you were very pale, though.
That's
But part of that being,
it's a Western thing.
but that's also,
yeah.
but that's also your lifestyle.
Because
You
it's
spend a
indoors.
lot more time
I
indoors.
can't get it. I turn red and then I go back to lack of melatonin. What is it called?
Melanin.
Melanin.
You're not albino.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. But I feel less insecure about it in Korea, I guess. You know,
Is it less?
people in America are all about
Yeah.
tans, man.
No, but
I
is
love
it
tans.
being in Korea, or is it because you've become older?
I don't know, man.
More,
Like
more comfortable
I
with
used to
yourself.
hate
You're comfortable
being
in your
pale.
skin.
Well, all my family, they have like a nice tan, man. They're all Latinos, but I'm the only pale
Yeah, but
one.
here, Young, like the point that you mentioned, like being comfortable in your skin also comes with the kind of environment that you're in, right? Because if you are in a place where everybody's like getting at you for the thing that you really hate the most, you're not gonna get up one day and be like, I'm super comfortable with this. Like it never happens like that.
Yeah, but I think it's also it is when you get older as well. It's one of the things that changes.
Like
you
don't
kind
care
of
more.
start
Don't
giving
care.
less
Yeah,
of a
like
fuck.
you don't care, right? Yeah.
Like there's times where I'm just like,
you're right. Yeah,
I'm like, I probably shouldn't do this, but I don't care. I'm gonna take my t-shirt off and boom.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh shit, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm comfortable in my skin.
boy, he
Like
thick.
Burt Kreischer.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh my God,
it doesn't
crust.
it shouldn't matter what other people think as long as you're comfortable.
True,
And
yep.
like I think insecurities become less of an issue the older you get.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even for me, like getting on stage is something I still have issues with, but it's kind of like you're less concerned with how people think of you.
Yeah, because the older you get, here's the thing. The older you get, the more secure you are in your body. So that insecurity, the in drops and you just have security. So you don't have to worry about all those things anymore.
Do you worry about having, if you were talking about how maybe you wanted to have kids here,
Yeah.
do you worry about raising Black kids in Korea?
Yes. That's something that I do think about a lot, because I have friends who are married to Koreans here and they have, mixed race babies, and they complain about the fact that every time they send their kids to school, the kids will laugh at them and be like, "Oh my gosh, look at your hair or look at your skin."
Yeah,
They
it's
look like,
crazy.
and they like it's hard. It's not easy, So I cannot help but think about that.
Nah,
Yeah.
your kids are... 샘오취리's my dad.
They will have that.
They'll be like, yeah, my dad can beat your dad. They're like, who's your dad? And they're like, sem오취리. And you're like, yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably can beat up my
There's a
dad.
bus flying by right now. I'll show you who my dad is.
You don't, it's like, you don't know my dad? Look at that bus. Speak now. It's like,
Let me
yeah.
take you on a walk to Dunkin' Donuts. His face is on. His face is above a fucking frappuccino.
I tell you what, but that's something for me as well. Like having kids my kids being half Korean, it's like for so long you've seen it that it's been ingrained in society here of being a homogenous society. And even for my children, it's something that I'm worried about. I mean, things have changed a hell of a lot.
Drastically, right?
A
Yeah.
hell of a lot. But there is still, the bad apple occasionally.
True. Mhm.
And it only takes one person to say something.
That's true.
And, you don't want children having to go through that kind of emotional problem from an early age in life.
Yeah.
And, you have a saying here in Korea, you have to hammer in the nail that sticks out, which is essentially a commentary on individualism because it is a society where everything is so, community-based.
right? Yep.
It's a collective society. And if you stand out from the crowd because of, being from a multicultural family as a child, that's something that is always going to be in the back of your parents' mind and
Right.
something they're concerned about.
One thing I think that people don't think about as often too is we're oftentimes worried that children are going to be racist because we've grown up amongst so much racism, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I remember like when I was teaching, I got a Black friend a job with me, and I was like, I loved all the kids at the school, but I was really worried that maybe
yeah.
one of them might offend him, right? And I remember like actually like being like kind of nervous about that. And I remember like I was talking to him months later and being like, did they say anything like insensitive? And he's like, no, they're kids.
Yeah.
Like adults are the ones who are racist. Like racism is like taught.
Man.
Kids aren't born with this shit at all. It seems to me.
Yeah, but
it's here's the thing.
it's environmental as well. Like
Right.
if that's in the household,
Exactly.
children will
Yeah.
pick up on
Yeah.
it.
Because
But that for me
Mhm.
is one of the reasons that I am on television with my children as well, because I think it's an opportunity to kind of maybe change people's
Right,
opinions
right.
on
How cool is that?
interracial children.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you have like the parents who will tell the teachers, "Well, here, I don't know, but I don't really want a Black teacher teaching my kid." Like,
Well,
yeah, they will say
it's
stuff like
always
that.
the parent. The kids aren't saying that
exactly
shit.
right.
The kids don't know any
They don't
different.
know
Yeah.
anything.
Do you guys get racist comments sometimes?
Oh yeah,
It
absolutely.
still
yeah.
exists.
Yeah, but
It
it's
still
like
exists.
1 in like 1,000 or like
And
10,000.
I've
I
seen-
get them sometimes.
I've seen it like leveled at my children before, but it's keyboard warriors, and it's
yeah.
because they're anonymous. And I'm like, I tell you what, I'd probably be a little bit more accepting of your opinion if you came up and said it to my face,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
because chances are you're not going to come up and say it to my face because
Because you're the kind of person that writes YouTube comments.
Well,
on negative YouTube comments
but
like
the
that,
thing
you
is,
know?
you know, if someone has the confidence to say it in my face, sure, I'll accept it. I may not like it, and I'll clap back. And more often than not, they're not willing to take that. They don't want the clap back. If they do, they want to remain anonymous. And it's like Sam said, it's 1 in 1,000.
That's right.
If not even less than that.
Really? I see it a lot.
But here's the thing: if you compare that to like the positive things that
You're right, yeah.
it's like it probably outweighs the negative more.
I can't wait to get married and get that sweet Korean citizenship. And just my pale ass, tattooed pale ass with a Korean citizenship. Ugh, stick it to him.
I'll tell you what.
You can actually do it.
Because it'll be like, Nina Nanaka, I don't have to go. Fuck you.
But the reality of it is, even if you get that, it's not going to change
Yeah, but
opinions.
it'll legally bind me. Just legal.
True.
Can't stop me.
Just get off that E6.
Yeah. You can still get it, man. Dude, you can still easily get it.
Soul's like, I'm on an E6.
It's funny.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
You said it like it's a
I
drug.
like
Like,
it.
you better get off that E6, bro.
Well, I know, but to get the F visa, you have to take a test. And have you been?
I have. Here's the thing. It's not as complicated as you think.
He did the citizenship test.
Yeah.
The residency test.
Yeah.
But you have to put so much, like 40 hours in a class.
10 weeks.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I did it for 1 month, and look, your Korean level of like is so good. Once you take the level 5,
It's not what I'm worried about. It's just the fucking time, man. It's the
Time. Something you have.
yeah, exactly. Like we spent 4 hours. If you think in retrospect, you spend that same amount of hours in the classroom.
Or playing League of Legends.
True, exactly.
Which one would be more productive?
League of Legends.
Dude,
LOL.
I'm trying to get gold, I'm trying to get gold tier, so
Okay. Sorry.
I think the reason I'm stoked to be on it is because I think that me and my partner and I were the first people to get it for rapping.
yeah, that's
Right?
tight.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I'm the
dope.
first person to ever get an entertainment visa as a
A rapper.
rapper
Don't-
in Korea,
and-
right? with Blessing.
You never let people take that away from you.
That's what I like
and,
it,
and that was for me. Like I was the first ever non-Korean to be a comedian here in Korea,
Right.
and no one can come
Take
and
that-
take that away
exactly.
from me. That will always be a title I retain.
Yeah.
I'm the first person to get a visa for being a YouTuber.
Damn, that's
Yo!
crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Who else? There's nobody who got a visa for being a YouTuber. I was the only. That was 2013 when I got a visa for being a YouTuber.
Wow.
Oh.
That's
legit.
dope, man.
Yeah.
That's
Legit.
legit. Too legit to quit, bro. You better not.
I can't quit, or
You better
I'm
not.
If he quits, he's out of money.
I have no money to quit. I cannot.
I'm not selling that computer.
I don't care.
I'll sell the car.
But not the computer.
On that note, I want to bring it around to this job security.
Yes.
Now, of course, with everything that's going on at the moment, we've touched on this in the last episode briefly. It's everyone's worried about job security, and a lot of employers are trying to take care of both their business and their employees at the same time. Now, what's been the learning curve, do you think, for yourself, for people like Dave that are a boss? But then there are people here that are not, well, technically, I guess.
Everybody here is.
What?
Everyone here is pretty much self-employed, right?
Self-employed, but you have people that work underneath you.
Oh man,
I've got a family to
I'm
support.
scared.
Me too.
Saul,
Yeah, I mean, I have a record label.
Are you scared
Yeah.
too?
So,
I have a family to support.
Yeah, I'm scared.
well, see, Sam's in a different situation. He's got a family. He supports his family back at home as well.
Yeah.
So you're scared about the situation. I was confident a year ago. Like I was eating whatever I want. I wasn't even just what I'm scared now. I'm being careful.
But for me, the truth is that it's not much of like being scared. It's just taught me that one, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket.
yeah.
And you have to be as diverse as possible in terms of like your revenue streams. So just in case something affects one part of your life,
Yeah.
everything else is not break down through a domino effect. Like
Yeah.
it has also taught me to think outside of the box. Okay, like what can I do to improve myself? What can I try? Like this is like a learning period for me. I don't look at, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Because the truth is that you can't really do anything about the
Yeah.
situation, right?
and all you can do is learn from it.
Exactly. It is what it is. So for me, it's also telling me that you have to put yourself in a place financially where no matter what happens, you're still somewhat stable because of the people that rely on you. Like it's a pressure because if everything goes down the drain and I don't have anything, like, my family back home is like, yo, so like that is a responsibility. And because of that, it really pushes me to say, put yourself in a position where when something unexpected happens, you're not caught off guard.
Yeah.
Like
being able to adapt like that is going to be the most important thing.
Right? It's like super important.
With life expectancy going up so high and like the exponential change in technology, people are going to, I mean, maybe you guys' jobs won't change as much as most people, but the regular like world is going to have to go through like 3 or 4 different careers, right? If human beings are living to be like 100 and like the iPhone changes into like some shit that just like plugs into the neurons in your brain, like we're going to have to find way different like ways to have.
Because that is already happening in like Sweden. They have like chips.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they put the chips in
Black Mirror.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man.
But it's like, it's definitely diversity. I think you have to diversify not only your financial streams, but also your job, your work. And we're seeing that now. So much has gone online. Even restaurants are having to get into delivery.
Yeah.
They can't bring customers to the restaurant. For me, I think what we're going through at the moment has been a huge learning curve.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I live by the philosophy of cream. Cash rules everything around me.
Get the money,
So
dollar bill,
for me,
yo.
it's about having fluid assets. Having cash is, in a time like this, like being able to tie money up in real estate and whatnot's great. But I think, and talking to friends, being able to have money on hand, and I know it's difficult. A lot of people live month to month and it's paycheck to paycheck, but you have to kind of deal with your expenses a little bit better. So a personal thing I do, for example, is every time I get paid, 20% of what I get paid goes into another bank account that I use exclusively to pay tax.
Right.
Later on when the tax man comes.
That's such a good idea.
Because I know it's going to come. Sooner, it's going to come one way or
Did you
another.
guys file for taxes yet?
Yeah. We had to do the same thing.
I got to do it fast, right?
You got to.
This year things have changed
There's
a
an
bit
extension.
because
It's
there's an
August,
extension.
but you have to file
thank
till the
God.
end of this month.
But you
I got
have to,
called by my
like,
dude.
if you put that money away, it means you're not spending money that you need later on when it comes tax time.
Dude, I'm
I
so
need to put
also-
a reminder on my phone to do that next week.
dude.
But also just in general, like it's making sure, and like I love buying sneakers, I love collecting certain things, but watching your bank account go up little by little, even if it's just little increments, but having that money set aside for a rainy day. When my mum said that, like I'm like, when I was younger, that's bullshit. Money burnt a hole in my pocket. As soon as I got money, I spent it. But like with what we're going through now, I think it's something you're going to have to take into account for the future is making sure you have a nest egg.
Are you good at
Yeah.
saving money? Are you guys good at saving money?
I was.
My wife
before
does
I
it
came
for
here.
me.
Nice.
My wife she's got money, like, I don't even know how, she's got like accounts, this, that, and everything else that she's investing cash in. And
Nice.
I'm
cool though.
I'm
She's
about
smart.
to buy gold bars for my children. That's the next thing. Because
I-
if the next
I
time,
got some
if
gold
money
bars.
goes to
That's
shit,
what one of my rapper friends does.
I want gold. Like if we have another corona and like the one
Where do
goes
you buy
in the
gold
toilet.
bars?
Hell,
There are places to buy.
I keep telling you, man, you got to come to Ghana, bro.
What, to buy
That's not-
gold?
No,
Got
it's
a
a
lot of
land,
gold,
man.
man.
I'll ask my
Our
buddy.
land.
No, we got a lot of gold.
For
Yeah.
real.
Fun story. Ghana was called the Gold Coast before it changed. to
I had a
Oh, yeah,
professor
yeah,
from
yeah,
Ghana
yeah.
that
Yeah.
she used to talk about that all the time.
We
Like,
still have a lot of gold
Gold's cheap
reserves. Slightly compared to like other places.
But the flight's probably gonna, if by the time I get on a plane and bring it back, it's gonna balance it all out.
You don't have to bring it back. You don't have to bring it
You have
back.
to bring it back, man. You
They
got
keep
to
it
go
in a safe
reserve.
for you
Yeah.
and-
You have like gold sitting
Go buy
there.
some gold, man.
Yeah.
you can do it in like in Korea. You go to like fucking Ojiro.
Buy one for me too.
Right?
I'll pay you back later.
I've heard that story before. Yeah, I've heard people try that before. Buy me some gold, I'll pay you back
Bro,
later.
Yeah.
I'll put it in my safe and I'll tell you where it is when you need it.
One time I went to the embassy, like a whole bunch of Koreans. I'm like, what's happening? They're trying to go to Ghana. They want some gold.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Invest in gold. That's what I say.
Is your necklace gold?
Minus 14 carats.
That's right. Bingo.
the kind of gold that gets green on your neck.
It's minus 14.
I gotta. Oh man, this
What is
saving
it?
shit though. You guys
Minus
are.
14,
I'm supposed to be
14.
enjoying this, and I'm stressed out.
Minus 28.
I asked you about the health insurance shit. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, 14 minus 14.
Yeah.
I
What
hate
were you
health
saying?
insurance. I hate.
Oh, now it's like
You hate health
You have to-
insurance?
you have
it's mandatory. Yeah.
It's mandatory, so
Yeah.
I'm paying too much. It's like,
Shivima,
I know.
it's like no,
125 a month.
I'm paying over $800 a month,
Yeah, me
dude.
too. Yeah.
Why?
It depends on your income.
Oh shit! I shouldn't have just put. I'm broke.
I saw that. I was like, yo, what the hell? I barely go to the hospital, dude.
Thank you. And I called them. I literally called them. I was like, I don't want to pay this. And they're like, you have to pay it. They're like, we'll take something from you or something. They threatened
so
me or something.
here's what happens.
Whoa.
So health insurance here is they change it on November every year, but they're going off the previous year's
2 years
yearly
ago.
income. So for people like us that work as freelancers, our income goes up, it goes down.
Right.
Yeah.
So the unfortunate thing is,
I'm paying up
if
the ass
you've
for
made a lot of money the previous year,
Yeah.
you pay for it the year after,
year after,
irrespective
yeah.
of how much you're earning.
and I'm not making as much I was making last year. So I'm paying still.
So here's my philosophy: go to the hospital as often as
Well,
possible.
you can't go now.
Well, no. See, for me, I go to hospital before I get sick. If I feel like there's something wrong,
Mhm.
I go to hospital in advance, because in our line of work, if you get sick, it's too late.
Right.
You can't work.
Yeah.
You're out for a week. So it's all about being proactive and
true.
going before you get too sick.
Yeah, not being
Get
reactive,
sick,
right?
bro.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, close this out because I'm not good at it.
I think it's like the perfect closing, though.
I love the honesty. I love the honesty. Great time yet again. Lots to think about. We didn't actually make any conclusions on any of it. It was just that's what
That's the point of our
nonsensible
podcast.
is all
Yeah, that's the point
about.
of
You're
our
asking
podcast.
pretty tough questions, right?
Tough questions, but it's like anything. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Of course, if you want to keep up with us on Instagram and Twitter, it is
I don't
at
have an
the
asshole.
Dive Studios. You can find us on YouTube as well, Dive Studios there. Saul, anything you would like to plug?
Yeah, just always
Plug me.
just always part-time cooks, and yeah, check us out. Saul Goode PTC on Instagram, and part-time cooks on Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Awesome.
Personally, I want to say to everybody, man, health is wealth. Mental health, physical health, man. If you get that in check, you're gonna get the real checks.
Oh my God, I'm
It's fun, man.
so mentally unhealthy.
I was gonna say that feels like it was directed personally at you, Dave. Personally at you.
I'm the sad boy of this podcast. Every
Yeah,
time,
I think you should embrace it.
We should
Yeah.
just call you Emo Dave.
Emo.
Of
Emo.
course, just remember to subscribe to the podcast, and we'd appreciate you giving us reviews. 5 stars would be amazing. All your reviews do help with getting the podcast out there and getting more and more traction. Saul, Sam, thank you both for joining us
Thank
on the
you
show
so much,
today.
guys.
Sam, Dave, thank you guys for
Thank you,
having
guys.
me.
That
Show
was a lot of
today.
fun.
Always
That
a
was lot of
pleasure.
fun.
Lots of fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
And hopefully we can get you both back in the studio sometime soon.
Anytime you guys want, let
Please.
us know.
Yeah, of course, man.
Always.
Yeah, that's it for today. So don't forget to join us again next week.
You have pretty eyes, Sam.
On that note, thank you. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Hope you enjoyed the clip. If you did, listen to the full episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel, Dive Studios, and put those notifications on. Hit that bell.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.